Hello, it's Angela Zajac-Brook from Angela Brook Art, in case this is the first video that you watch. And you can check out my work on www.angelabrookart.com. And this video, anytime I teach someone to paint or to art journal, it's very important that you learn color basics. The quickest way to ruin a painting is to dull it down, to make it brown. So you really need to know your paints and mix ugly colors so that when you get to your canvas, you don't mix those same ugly colors. And I use a Burridge color wheel. And I like this because I pick a dominant color, and then you could pick spice color. You have a focal point color, and then the spice colors. So a lot of times when I do my pages with leftover paint, how I finish it, you will actually see me get this wheel out, and I will actually use this color wheel a lot in my work. But we're not going to get into finishing pages with it. What I wanted to use this for is, everyone knows most people know primary colors are yellow, red, and blue. And what that means that there are not two colors you can mix to get yellow, there's not two colors you can mix to get red, and there's not two colors you can mix to get blue. But all other colors come from mixing these three colors in different combinations. So you can even start out by pull out your red, pull out your yellow, pull out your blue, and see all kinds of colors you can mix, especially greens. I'm not a big fan of the greens that I find in the tube, so a lot of times I'll mix. And this applies if I'm using watercolor, oil paint, acrylic, if I'm using ink, the same principles apply. So get whatever medium you're using, get it out and start playing and mix from those three colors. The other thing that you have to learn is what colors are cools and what colors are warm. And if you stick with all the warm colors, you're not going to get in trouble. If you stick with all the cool colors, you're not going to get in trouble. Where we get into trouble is when we mix the two. It will dull a paint down very, very quickly without even realizing it. A lot of times I like to drip ink on paintings. This type of ink, I love working with this ink. You'll see a lot of drips in my work. If I do a blue color and I drip a red, I'm going to make brown, and that's going to dull down my painting. So if I want to use blue ink and red ink on the same painting, I have to wait till the one dries. I can't mix them. So if I want to mix colors and get those cool effects, I need to mix, my warm colors or my cool colors. So that's really important. I had a lot of paintings that were beautiful, and then just a few wrong splashes of ink and I made brown. So the colors on top, so these are your warm colors. Your yellow, your orange, your red, your pink, and purple. Purple is a powerful, powerful color. Purple could dull down a painting. Purple is to be used with caution because you can very quickly make brown. Purple is made out of red and blue, so it has a warm color and a cool color. So if you stick to mixing it with blue or mixing it with red, it's not so bad. But just so proceed with caution when you use purple. The other colors are the cool colors. Your greens, your blues, these are all your cool colors. So you will see when I'm painting, you will see in the studio that I separate my colors out. I literally separate my tubes of paint. I separate my inks. These are all the these are all the cools in this box. And then that way, when I grab them and I'm in, painting, I don't get in trouble. So, yellows, all of these are warm colors. So if you paint a painting and you use a yellow, an orange, and a red, those colors, you can do an entire painting and get a beautiful painting with those three colors. If you're doing sunsets, you can use these three colors. Sunsets are hard to paint. I do paint a lot of sunsets. That's what I love to paint. but it is very easy to get green because you'll see a blue sky, you'll see part of the sky blue, and then you see part of this orange. That's already you're mixing a cool with a warm. So I handle this one of two ways. I either make the color, I don't follow the photograph exactly. I either I go with all cool colors or all warm colors or all cool colors, or I let it completely dry. On this little painting that I did today, to me it looks green because in here there's a green tone because of from mixing the yellow with the blue, and there's no green skies. So that is the hardest part of painting, and I'll go over this and soften it, but that is the hardest part of painting a sunset. So you can play around and you can make beautiful paintings with just cool colors. You can try that. So I'm encouraging this. I did this video, so I'm trying to give you the basics of color theory, and I want you to take your colors and actually play with them on your paint, because you need to know your colors. It's worth doing that. That is not a waste of time. Anytime I get new paint colors, I absolutely sit and work with them and see what I can do with them and how they mix out. So I want to show you, do a quick, if you cross this line, the reason I like this, you see this line, it goes right through there. So if you cross this line, so if I do a red and a blue, I'm going to dull down that color. Now if I want to have a dull color, I need to know how to make that dull color. But if I want to have a bright, vibrant paint colors, fully saturated with color, I don't want to do green and pink. I don't want to do orange and blue. And I really encourage you to take time and mix that and see what it does. And we'll do a few here so I can show you what I mean. So if we do the red and the green, so if we have some red on our paint, on our paper, and this will become a journal page, so this is why I like a journal. I'm not going to do this kind of work on a canvas, and then I can go back and actually see. So red and green makes a really dark color. It actually makes, you can make almost like a black color. So look, when I take that red and I take that green, it goes purple, but if I mix it enough, it's not a bright purple, it's a very dull, dark, it's a duller color. So it's almost like can almost go black. If I added more green, it probably would. So you see how dulled down those two vibrant colors become? If I put a little more green, it might. Now I want to show you what happens if I do. I'll add some more green to that. You can see what that's doing. So that is making a dark, dull color. You may not want that on your painting. So watch what happens, and I can get some of it out of my brush. I'll do a journal page, and it won't matter. It'll turn into something cool. These layers, sometimes behind, are challenging to take these. Some of my most beautiful pages started out ugly. See, it almost looks like a gray, almost looks like a black. And in watercolor, you can make it like your dark color. So watch what happens. Then we have the red. Whoops. Ooh, that was already open. If we do, that's some pink, and I have some red, or orange and red. Now look at the difference when I'm using two warm colors. The red and the pink are both warm colors. I'm going to darken this. I will darken this red, but it's not as dull. It's still a bright, it's still a pretty color. You don't get that dark like you have over here. So you can do a pretty sunset with red, pink, and then if we add some orange or some yellow, and I apologize for not having these colors out. add some yellow to this. So we have some yellow, some pink, and some orange, 3 warm colors. And you could do a beautiful sunset with these 3 colors. And it'll keep you out of trouble. Look how pretty that looks with the yellow. It doesn't dull it down. It makes it a different color. I'm now going into the orange. I'm now making orange from the yellow and the red. But look, it's not the same as over there. So go ahead and paint that out. So I highly encourage you to take your colors and then separate them out, cools and the warms. Remember, your warms are your yellows, your reds, your pinks. Your cools are your greens and your blues. And separate them out and go ahead and mix them. And then that's it for this video. If you have any comments or any questions, and the color wheel that I used is the Robert Burridge color wheel, and I bought this when I took a class from him. So if you like that, you can find it at Jerry's Artorama. You can find it on his website. Those are the only 2 places that I have found that. So hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thanks for stopping by, and happy creating, happy painting.